which you have. You don't say, oh, next to my house is a school. The children are kuchu, they are all making noise throughout the day. I am unable to do my meditation. I want a separate house. See, don't go in for environments. Have only one goal. The goal should be God. Don't dilute it. No, I want a good house. I want a house near a temple. I want near my house some devotees who will be able to give me some satsang from time to time. Do not dilute it to other lower aims. Have only one aim. How God gives, in what circumstances, leave it to Him. With all the schools by your outside, with all the noise around you, if He gives you, what is wrong with it? So don't ask for certain particular things that I want this. I want a proper Guru. You only ask for the Lord, let Him give whatever is required for that. He will give you the Guru, He will give you the necessary equipments. So accept the environments which are given and then do your spiritual practice in that. In Bhagavatam, two stories are there which are in contrast. Bharata did not accept his environment. He said, my house is, the people are disturbing me, so let me go all alone. And then he got to the company of a small deer and it spoiled his entire spiritual life. He ought to have got his moksha in that very birth. It was postponed by 2 births more. On the contrary, the son of Hiranyakashipu, the demon, he was Prahlad. He was a devotee of the Lord from the very birth. And his father, he was thoroughly against the Lord. The Lord's name should not be mentioned anywhere in his kingdom. But this young boy was so courageous at the age of 5 or 6. He used to take the Lord's name in the presence of Hiranyakashipu. He used to tell his father one day, asked him, hey, tell me something good which I have learned from your school. He said, I have learned only this much. That one should always think of the Lord. From birth to death, one should think of the Lord. This is the best thing that I have learned. He never tolerated the word God, and he taught him. And his father tried to kill him in several ways. He put him down, and then several elephants were asked to run over him. Nothing happened to him. He was put in fire, but he was not burnt. And all the demons were asked to kill him through weapons. So they began to stab him with spears. Nothing happened to him. So, in all those bad environments, cruel environments, he was always taking the name of the Lord. Because he never tried to escape the environment and run away from his father somewhere. He would have done it. After all, he was a king's son. If he goes out, nobody is going to prevent him. He would have run away. No. He stayed in that environment and he got the height of spirituality. He got the vision of the Lord directly and was able to talk to him. While on the other hand, he went after environment and he suffered. So accept the environment and leave it all to him. Never dilute your goal. Have only God alone is the goal. Nothing else is the goal. I want a good Guru. I want a good accommodation. Leave it all to him. Only think of the Lord. And now that he was a deer, Bharata remembered his previous life. So as such, he again went back to the same place where he was originally doing his tapasya, where he got the deer. And there, he used to only eat the leaves which are there on the ground, which are fallen from the tree. And just thinking of God, he left his body. Now he was born as the son of a Brahmin. And from birth, he also remembered his previous two births, so he never talked to anybody. People thought that he is hard of hearing, he cannot hear, and he is deaf and dumb. People told him that you are deaf and dumb. He didn't bother. His father tried to teach him Sanskrit. His father tried to give him what is called in Hindi, we call it Janevu, the sacred thread. It's considered a big ceremony. He wouldn't pronounce the Gayatri at all. Hey, you tell Om, Bo, 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 Bo. He knew, but he refused. He said, I got nothing to do with these people. Because of that only, I had to suffer. No more. I will have no company. I will have no attachment to anybody, father, mother, brother. I will have nothing to do. Then finally, in disappointment, his father and mother died. His brothers, they tried to, what to do? He has to stay in his meat. So they put him in charge of their field. They said, well, you look after the field, the grain is there, the cows, bulls, they will all come and eat them away. Be careful. Well, they only told him, be careful, they will eat them away. So when they came, he said, yes, yes, I was told that you will all come. Please, you are welcome. Please go and eat as much as you want. And one day when they came, they were shocked to see that all the produce were being eaten away by the cows and other animals. They said, useless fellow, you are useless even for this simple thing. You get out of the house. Especially when came Bhabi, they were against him. So, finally he left the house. He was not bothered at all. He was just going. And wherever, whoever gave him some food, he used to take. And wherever nobody gave, he was not bothered. He never used to go and ask. Like that he was going. When he was going like that, a dacoit had to do some Kali Puja. And for the Kali Puja, a perfect man who has no defects in his body, such a man is required. So, these people were in search of such a man. They found this fat man going. They said, hey, come here. He went there. Come with us. He went with them. He went with them. They fed him, put malas and everything. And the Sardar, the head of them, he was very happy. He took him to the Kali temple and he put him in that Balipitha, the sacrificial days. And he took his sword and was about to cut his head and give that sacrifice to the mother. Mother could tolerate that her own devotee should be reduced to this level. He was not at all bothered. He was just thinking of the Lord. Suddenly the Divine Mother came out of this Kali statue. She came and took the sword from the hand of the head of the dacoits and cut off the head of the dacoits, and then she disappeared. So the people all ran away. He also went away. Somewhere he was going. While he was going, a king called Rahugana, he was coming along with his retinue. He was sitting in a palanquin, palki, and the people were bringing him. And one of the fellows, he fell sick on the way, so he couldn't carry. Then there is nobody there who could replace him. Suddenly they saw this man coming. They are quite a fat man, walking nicely. They called him, hey, come on. You remain there and carry this palanquin. Along with others, he began to And on the way, he found in one place a number of ants, chinti. They were all going. So that his feet may not trample them, he just jumped over. When he jumped over, the king's head hit in that. See, after all, the palanquin is made of wood, so he against it. He said, "Hey, who is that? What are you doing?" Then the other fellows told, "Sir, we have nothing to do, sir. That new fellow has come, he is a very strange fellow." And he kept quiet. When it happened for the second time, he got angry. He told this fellow, "Hey, you are so thin. You have been in famine. You have had no food. And you are coming a very long way. Yes, I am the king. I have to teach you a lesson." Till now, Jadabharata is known as Jadabharata because Jada means the one who is not bothered about anything, he is just a Jad. Must go, you beat him, he will remain like that. You praise him, he will remain like that. You feed him, he will remain like that. So he was known as Jadabharata. So, Jadabharata, till now he has never talked. But he found, who was this king? He was a young king. This king was the deer which had his satsang in those days and has been reborn because of his holy company. He is now reborn as the king. So he had still a little affection. So he said, "Let me teach him the way to spirituality." So he told him, this Staulyam karcham yadaya adayascha dehena jatasya himena santi. Look here, I am not my body. My body is my neighbor. And my body was born earlier than me. Because what happens is, when the mother conceives the child, then a sort of a gel forms in the fallopian tubes and it slowly descends into the womb. At that time, the breathing power is not there, the energy is not there, the breathing energy is not there, which we call as the prana shakti. It is from the breath the prana shakti comes out and it makes our hand, feet, mouth, everything function. If the energy is not there, you and I are not there. We can't function. That will be only a mamsapind. It will be only a piece of flesh. It cannot talk, it cannot see, it cannot hear. So it is only in the 5th month that energy comes from nowhere inside the womb. It comes. So he says, you are talking that I am very thin. Look here, my thinness or my fatness. Similarly, my having diseases, my having worries, vyadhe adhyascha, dehena jatasya imena santi. They are all for those types who think they were born along with the body. I know I am the younger brother of the body. I am not born along with that. So I am not bothered about it. And so, Rajan, you were telling that you will teach me a lesson. What is that you teach me? Because I am already mad. I am outside the world. So nothing you do, you beat me to death, it is not going to affect me at all. So it's unnecessary. It is just like there is a serpent is already dead. If you go and again beat it, what is the fun in it? The same thing will happen. I am already dead to the world. So any amount of punishment you give, it is not going to affect me at all. The moment he told this, Ravugana also was at that line. He was awakened to spirituality, though not he was not practicing it much. Actually, at that time, he was going for a satsanga. He has heard that there is a great saint called Kapila. So he was trying to put him. He has not seen him. So the moment he heard all these things, he just jumped out of the palanquin down below and did prostration. He said, I never knew that you are a holy man, a man of a very high order, who is just going incognito. That is, without revealing your real identity, you are going here and there. I bow to you again and again. Please tell me, who are you? Which of the Mahatmas are you? Because I have heard about everybody. And who are you? Which sect are you? And then he says, I got a doubt. The doubt is, you were just now telling me that disease may come, I may become thin, I may become thick, nothing affects me. How can it be, sir? In my house, in a cooker, I have the vessel. And in the vessel I put water. Over the water, in another vessel, I put rice and cook it. Then what happens? The vessel gets hot. Because the vessel getting hot, the rice gets hot. So it goes up to the rice. So similarly, as the Atma is inside the body, when the body is affected, naturally the Atma should be affected also, just like the rice which is cooked. Then Bharata says, you are a fool, akovidaha, you are an ignorant man. But kovidavadavadan vadasi, you are talking as if you are very wise. You are not at all wise, you are stupid. Because you are mixing up what is happening in the dream world or in the phenomenal world with the highest truth. You can't mix up both and tell. See, the cooking rice, etc., they belong to this world. And Atma, it is something else. The soul, it is something else. And you can't mix up both and then give one as an analogy to another. And further, it depends on the item which is put on the cooker, whether it is cooked or not. In this of rice, if you put a stone inside that cooker, will it get cooked? It won't. So it depends on the item you put. So the Atman, it can never be affected by heat or cold. Nothing can affect it. So it's a different item. Don't mix up what is spiritual with what is transactional, which daily you are having in this world, and this world is not real. So in the unreal world, so many things can happen, and don't try to put this as an analogy to that. You understand what I do? And then he gives him the real thing. He says, Nayavadetam tanubrahmanarendra vidhoyamayam vairodena. Look here, you have to get the final knowledge. When the knowledge comes, all this maya which is binding you, because of which you are entangled in this world, it will all leave you. How can I do that? Vimukta sargo gyadashat sapatraha. Look here, for that there are two things. Number one, don't have attachment to anybody. Vimukta sangha. It doesn't mean you don't have the company. You may have to live perhaps in a house where there is a father and mother. Don't behave with anybody. Absolutely, as if they don't exist, you carry on. That's all. So you completely remain without any attachment to anybody. However many people may be there around you, you are not bothered. Then, Jita Shatsavatana. We have got 6 natural enemies which are inside us. You will have to win over them. You will have to defeat them. That's essential. Who are those 6 enemies? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada and Matsarya. That is, Kama means desire. You will have to defeat all desires. Desire should not crop up. That is the main impediment towards spirituality. Then, when your desires are not fulfilled, somebody is on the way, you get anger. You get angry against him. I purchased a plot because of my desire to build my 20th house in Bombay. And somebody had put a stay order. It is 10 years. You get angry against that fellow, you say, I'll go and shoot him down. How dare you put this stay order, get this stay order? So, it is often enough, the anger is always a result of the desires. Kama, Krodha. Then, when the desire is much more, that is, you have already got. See, there is a difference between maintenance department and purchase department. Kama is purchase department. What you don't have, you desire to have it. On the contrary, this Lobha is, you have already got it. You want more. You want to give some more for your grandson, grandson's grandson. So you want to keep more things at home. So that is called Lobha or greed. So then mother, to be proud, then Matsarya, to see defects in the good qualities of somebody else. Somebody is there, he has got all the good qualities, but you won't see that. You will only see that fellow, when he goes out, he is spitting on the road. He doesn't have any road sense. That's all. So you are trying to see some defects in him. A man who is trying to be perfect life. You don't see his good qualities. On the contrary, you are seeing his bad qualities only. And then he says, then how all these things can be done? Guru Harishcharano Pasanastra Jahidvelikam Swayamatma Mosham. There is only one way to kill all these enemies. That is, worship the feet of the Guru and the Lord. That's the only way. When you get the blessings of your spiritual teacher, when you get the blessings of the Lord, these are the only two things which will work. Are the blessings of the Lord and the blessings of the Guru different? It is not so. The Guru is an evolved soul with the same. It is a medium through which the divine expresses itself. So, the so-called God, he doesn't give his blessings directly. He gives it through the medium of the Guru. So that is why we say that the Guru and the God are one and the same. And Ravagana has got still one more doubt. Okay, I accept all that things. But then, I have been deputed as a king. Should I not do my duties? After all, I am a king here. Then, again Jadabharata says, look here man, who is a king? You are not born. It is not written that you are a king. You are born as much as you and I, just as a child. Later on, you are kept at the Simhasana, on the throne, and then you are going on this palanquin, and they call you as the king. Why the people who are going down, they are supposed to be your servants. On the contrary, if one of them sits there and you are down below, then that fellow will be called the king. That's all. It is all relative words. So don't depend on these things. So don't bother. Don't be proud of the fact that you are a king. There's a beautiful book called Ribhu. There, Ribhu was a great saint. Nidhaga was his disciple. And 20 years Nidhaga was studying under his guru. He said, this old man is again and again repeating the same thing which has taught me 10 years back. Everything is exhausted, whatever he knew, I know it. I don't know why he is extending my stay unnecessarily. He should say, oh, you have finished your course, here is your certificate, you have finished the course successfully. It will given. The Guru understood it. One day he called and told him, look here boy, I want to go on a long pilgrimage. For about 10 years or 12 years, I make it out. So you look after this ashram, you live here, you be the Guru. And he goes away. And he is returning after 20 years. 20 years is a long time. And he is returning on the bazaar side. He found near one shop, his disciple Nidhaga was standing. Nidhaga was unable to recognize him because he is now having a long beard. Previously he never had a beard. A long beard. And just like a villager, he was keeping a big turban and then he has bound it around his head and then he was wearing his dhoti also like a villager. So he could recognize his Guru. But the Guru recognizes his Shishya. He said, he is my disciple, Nidhaga. He comes very near him and tells, Swamiji, why are you standing here? You have to go home there. He said, hey, look here that side, where I have to go. The king is coming along with his entire retinue, so I don't want to go in the crowd. Let him pass and then I will go. And he looks there. And then he asks, sir, I'm sorry. I see so many people there. Who is the king and who are his subjects? He says, the man who is sitting over the elephant is the king. The one which is under the king, that is the elephant. Do you understand? He says, still I am not able to understand what is over and what is under. See, if I sit here, this is over me, this is above me. If I sit on the fan, this is below me. So is this place below or up above? It all depends where you sit. This is relative. Similarly, when I say south, north, east, west, they begin from me. From here, this is north. For him, it begins from there. For him, this is south. For me, this is north. For him, this is south. And north begins from where he sits. That's all. So, where is south and where is north? Where is up and where is below? These are all purely relative words at that time. That's all. Well, you could understand. So suddenly, Nidhaga bends his body down, his Guru's body, just as if he's a horse. Children play, bending like that. And he sat over him. He said, look here, I am over you, you are under me. Now do you understand? Now you have made it more complicated. You said something of I, you. When I talk, I say I. When you talk, you say I. So who is the real I? Who is the real I? When I say, I went to the market. And when you are talking, yesterday I went to the hospital. So are you the I or I am the I? Who is the I? Who is the you? Then Nidhaga You should be my Guru. Ah, my Guru, he just did it from Sri to him. It's the story. These are all simply relative words. King, subjects, all these things. See, when you are born, you are only children. Nobody has written this is king. See, once it so happened, Alexander's guru Diogenes, he was originally a slave, but he was the guru of Alexander, the great emperor. He was sitting in the graveyard and he was digging out a lot of these bones and was trying to keep separately. Alexander asked, "Hey, what are you doing? I want to know which are the king's bones and which are the normal man's bones." Is there any difference? The same thing happens, that's all. So, she says, Rahuganatva Vikhadvanosya Sanatadanda Bhutamitra Asajjitatma Harisevaya Shitam Janasi Madaya Tarati Param. Oh Rahugan, you can also travel this path to the Lord. What you have to do? Sanyasa Danda. This ruling people and then using your whip, using your punishments, all these things you leave. Ahimsa should be your first thing. That nobody fear you. You be the friend of all. Kritabhuta Mitra. All the beings should love you. You should be the friend of all the beings. And you control your mind so that it may not go to the worldly things. And daily Harisevaya Ashitam. Intense worship of the Lord you have to do. When you do this, you get the jnana, you get the knowledge. And that knowledge is a sword. So with that sword of knowledge, you will be able to go across and reach the other side where you will be. You will come face to face with the Lord. Now, there are some questions he is asking about how this land is there. Is there only this one earth only? Are there many other earths? Are there many other worlds? Well, it is all being mythology. He is talking about 14 lokas, that this one we see, but unseen. There are 7 worlds down below, and including this earth, there are 7 worlds up above. So total there are 14 worlds, and he talks about them, and in the portion, a portion is called the Bharata Khanda, that only you can see. The rest of them, there are other places which you cannot see. They are all invisible words. And like that he describes all these things. They are all mythical. And finally, he is asking about how the planets are placed, how they are going about, and all that. And he tells how Jupiter goes, how the Mercury goes, how one goes slow, one goes fast. All these things are being told. And finally he asks one question, is there something called a hell? Is it true that there is something called a hell, Narak, where we will be punished, where we will have to go and get punished? Yes. And then he describes the more important of the hundreds of hells, which are about 10 hells. In one hell, you will find all will be serpents only. So the man will be put among them and they will be going on biting him. And he will be suffering. He won't be suffering. In the first bite, he will go away. This is what I think, what they say like that. They will be going on suffering. It's called a Danda Shuka. Danda Shuka is a particular type of very vicious and poisonous serpent. So there will be a hell full of it. There will be another hell where the pan, that is the tawa in which you prepare your chapati, like that there will be a very big one. It will be kept quite hot and you will be put there and roasted without oil. And there will be another hell where kadai, a very big, that pan will be there, where it will be full of oil. I don't know whether it's a good oil or whether it is a refined oil. In those days, refined oil was not there. And it will be boiling and it will be put there and it will be roasted alive. Like that is there. The point is this. So long as you think that this body is true, all these things are true. Because these are all imagination, the body is an imagination. So the other things are all equally imagination. So when we try to get over this illusion of the body, then all the illusions go away. Every illusion goes away. So till that time, in your own this thing, you think, well, I have done it. Your own guilty conscience gives you the punishment. You think I am going to this hell, I am going to that hell, and after reading it, you know all the 14 hells, what are all the various hells. So you will be choosing where would I like to go. All these things are there. So with this, the fifth part, part 5 out of the 12 parts are over. Now we come to the sixth one. Sixth one is considered as most important because it deals with the glory of the name of the Lord. Simply you call him by his name once, well, you do not know what all the advantages you get out of it, what all the benefits you get out of it. It can even take you to the Lord himself if you continuously take the name of the Lord. You see, among the 6, God is called Satnam because the name alone is real. Sat means that which is real. I mean, it's according to me. I don't know how they interpret it. What do you call it, Satnam? उसका अर्थ क्या है?
Truth. Truth is thy name.
Truth is thy name. That's all. There is only reality. Reality is thy name. You are real. You are the ultimate truth. That's all. So, that's right. So that's called this thing. So the name has got a lot to do. That's why when they sing the Guru's name. Vahi Guru, 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 Vahi Guru. So they simply praise the Guru like that. So you take the name of the Guru. You don't take his particular name even. Just you take Guru, that's all. And you get the result. So the effect of the name and how God's grace falls, however much we may be degraded, we may go down, we may become an alcoholic, we may be licentious, all these things may be there, but still the Lord's hands are longer than any place up to which you can reach, and it will take you out again and it can resuscitate you in his favors and you will get his grace. There are only 2 stories I am making. Then another story is that of a demon. A fellow is born as a demon. How? Before fighting with Indra and dying, he knows he is going to die. He tells him, wait, I am going to do my prayers and I will be coming. He sits in the battlefield. He sits with his bended knees and then prays to the Lord. Then there are about 4 verses there. They contain the entire essence, the quintessence of devotion. That's why one of the greatest of saints who had founded a separate philosophy which is known as Shuddha Advaita is he has called this as the Skanda of grace, the part which deals with grace. He calls it Putti Skanda. Putti means anugrah, that is grace, grace. How the Lord's grace works. You see, in our courts of law, a criminal, is put before the judge. Both the sides argue. Finally, he finds that this the fellow has committed the crime, and he gives him the punishment that he will die. He is going to be hanged till he dies. Now, all the laws are for that. According to the laws, they have decided. But even now, there is one safeguard. The man can still perhaps escape. You know how? Mercy petition to the president. He doesn't see about the law. He only sees this fellow has got 2 small kids at home. His wife is illiterate. She can't earn any money. So they are very poor. His father is lying in cancer. So he appeals, please don't give it that severe punishment. Let me live. Now, the president has got the right either to accept the petition and grant mercy, or to tell them, no, there will be no change, he will be hanged. So he has got a choice. But in the case of the Lord, everybody is within the bound of His mercy. Everybody is within the jurisdiction of His mercy. He cannot say to anybody, no. He has no choice. It's a choiceless mercy. He has to. When once a person appeals to His mercy, to His daya, to His kripa, well, He has to grant it. He has no other way. When Akbar was the king, he had a famous minister called Birbal. It was the birthday of Akbar. Everybody went and congratulated him. Everybody said, you are Indra, you are Chandra, you are this, you are that, you are all, you are God, you are my father, you are my mother. Everything they said. Birbal went and told Akbar, you are greater than the God. In Quran it is written, if anybody says that there is a man who is either equal to Allah or greater than Allah, behead him. He is to be killed immediately. Nobody can be greater than the Lord. So the king gets angry. He is a true Muslim, even though he loved Hindus, but he was a true Muslim. He said, Birbal, prove how I am greater than God. Otherwise, this minute I am going to behead you myself. You are a very good friend of mine, but then jokes have got their limits. You can't joke about God. Tell me how. He didn't talk. He kept quiet. Once, twice he asked. Then he took out his sword. He was about to kill him. Then he said, Birbal, you have been my very good friend, so I don't want to kill you. But within 3 hours you will get out of my jurisdiction, you get out. You won't be in my kingdom, you will never more come to my kingdom. I never want to see your face, get out from here. Now, Birbal laughed and said, Sir, here is the proof. Jampana, here is the proof. I said, what do you mean? What proof is there? He said, there is nobody who can go outside the jurisdiction of His mercy. He cannot say, you get out of my kingdom, because everything is the kingdom of the Lord. Why? You tell me, you get out of my kingdom. You did something which God cannot do. So you are greater than God. So, mercy is something which can come only by just calling on Him. That is the application. You need not pray, you need not do anything. Once you call on Him, well, you have it. You see, even though the story is there, I want to tell something about the effect of the name. We think these are all stories that somebody called once Narayana and immediately the God sent his own man and his death was averted. It is all a story, man. 4,000 years back, somebody who has seen this. Yes, I agree. But this has been repeated within 100 years. There is an ashram called Ananda Ashram in Koningad, which is the border of Kerala and Karnataka. It is nearer to Mangalore. The founder of that Swami Ramdas, his grandson, he was, before he became a mendicant, he was a family man. He had children, he had his wife and all that. So his grandson, he was in America, he was in a place called San Diego, near California. In San Diego, he was running one ashram where Ram Nam was being repeated daily. Here also in this ashram, morning to evening they continued to go on being Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om, Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. So this is the way they are repeating the Ram Nam. And people have told me that even at night 12 o'clock, when they came, from somewhere they were hearing the Ram Nam being sung. Well, I never got up at night, so I never knew. But once I took a doctor who was a skin specialist from Desai. She never used to believe in these tricks. But night 1 o'clock he came running to my room and woke me up. And he said, Swamiji, Swamiji, I am hearing Ram Nam, he said. And he was supposed to be a non-believer. Now, that grandson he was running that. Every Saturday and Sundays they used to have the Ram Nam there. This, the man was running it, his name I had forgotten, Prem. Prem's wife was a Sindhi, her name was Sheila. Sheila had a sister whose husband had died, but she had a small daughter, perhaps aged about 6 or so. One day, the child fell very ill, it had high temperature. It was taken to the hospital. The doctor said, you have brought it too late. The child is going to die within 3 days. We can't save it. It's all your fault. The child has got a big hole in the heart. You should have seen in all these years, the child would have become out of breath while coming, even walking a small distance. Like that you have been doing. You should have taken to the doctor at that time. You people just ignored, and you are now breaking when the hole is very big. No, nothing can be done. Okay. Prem went and phoned up that ashram. Now, Ramdas had already left his body. His successor was, Mataji. That Mataji was there. He phoned up the Mataji. He knows her very well. Look here, the child has to live. I don't know what you will do. If the child dies, she will die. If she dies, my wife will die. It will bring a series of deaths in the family. So, you have to save us all from this calamity. I leave it to you. The doctor has already declared that the child will die in 3 days' time. And the mother said, okay, ring me up after 1 hour. She went. In that ashram they have got one room where it is called Ram Nam Library. There are people who write Ram 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 Ram, and when they finish some 2-3 volumes, they send it here for keeping it. So like that, the entire room is full of, they keep it as 5 lakhs noms, 5 lakhs names, like that they keep it. The mother took 15 lakhs of Ram Nam, which were written, and they were taken to the Samadhi of Swami Ramdas. She kept it there. She sat in meditation for about half an hour. She offered it to Ramdas, and then she sat in meditation. After 1 hour the call came. She told Prem, the child will live. Tomorrow evening she will get up. She will be absolutely all right. She will demand that food she will be very hungry, keep some food for her. Tomorrow evening she will get up. And within a week's time you will find some other miracle also. Okay. The same thing happened the next day evening. The child got up and demanded some food. Food was given, so it became normal. After a week they took her to the hospital. There when they checked up, there was no hole in the heart, it has disappeared completely. That is the miracle she talked about. It can never happen. It happened. And so, she put one condition to them. Look here, from the bank I took a loan of 15 lakh names and I offered it. So, the loan has to be repaid. So, you people, the moment he becomes well, you will begin to write Ram Nam. 15 lakhs should be written before the end of this month. So, this was 3rd or 4th of a month. She said, it should reach me before the end of this month. I have to give it back. So, all the 3 together, night and day they wrote. Something the mother of the child wrote, something Prem wrote, something Sheila wrote, and thus they finished it and sent it away. She got it before 30th of that month. And she confirmed, yes, I got it. Thus it has been done. And this principle when I told, so many of my friends, they adopted it and they got the best results out of them. One is Kalpagam, you can ask her. So many people got the benefit. In fact, they don't write in lakhs. So whatever they had, they used to offer it to the Lord immediately. And it had its own benefit. So this happened in recent years. And now the gentleman, Mr. Prem, is retired. He has come here. He has come in Maharashtra, a place called Dabadi. And the American Swamiji, you all know, who was with me. He went and lived with him because he knew him in California. So he went and lived with him for about a week's time. Then he himself told this incident to him. So it was not a second-hand story. It came straight from the horse's mouth. This one. Like this, there have been so many instances where I myself had told them. I didn't know because what else to tell them I didn't know. So I only told them, oh, you write Ram Nam, things will become okay. It became okay. There is a boy in Gujarat. The mother brought him, he was 7 years old. He fell down from the staircase and he lost his capacity for hearing and he couldn't talk. The same day he lost both. He refused to go to the school. She brought that boy. I didn't know what to tell. See, after all, I am not a spiritual doctor. I don't know anything. So anyway, when they come, I had to tell them something. So I told, you write Ram Nam. Minimum 108, perhaps, as much as you can, beyond that. After 2 years when I went there, she came and met me. She said, about 4 or 5 months after that date, The boy was also writing Ram Nam. She was also writing. One day early in the morning, the boy got up and called her, "Mummy, I am feeling hungry." He became okay. So like that, I myself have seen so many cases where they have got. So the name has got a value. In my own case, it had happened in my Purashram. So many cases are there. See, after all these names, why they have got? Because they are all in Sanskrit scripts and the pronunciation is of Sanskrit. If you pronounce that way, a particular sound comes out of them. And all these names of gods have been put in such a way that they are all beneficial and advantageous to you. And some may cure some long diseases, some may cure depression, some may cure even madness, like that. That is why it is very, very important. Anyway, now they are coming to the first one, where in Kanikuja there was a Brahmin. That Brahmin, in his early days, he was with his father. He was daily worshipping God along with his parents. He was married along with his wife. He had children, so they all used to pray. He will daily go to the jungle nearby and bring all flowers and then offer flowers to the Lord and then take the 1,000 names of the Lords and do all these things he was doing. But one day when he went to the forest, he found that some low caste person openly there, he was playing with a prostitute. The moment he saw that, his mind was completely clouded. He forgot his father, his tradition, his culture, everything. His mind was full of lady. Then he went to her house. He began to live with that house, with her. He will go here and there. He will thief. He will loot people and then bring the money and give her. Later on he went to his house. He used to beat his father and mother and get all the money, and thus he completely took away all the money from his parents and he gave it to her. And he had 10 children by that lady. He was living with her. He forgot completely. The last boy was called Narayan, the Lord's name. It's one of the Lord's names, Narayan. And he was 86 years old. He was lying in a cot in his house. And his son, the last son Narayan, he was very small. He was playing with some other boys, just in a short distance away. He could see him playing. Suddenly he found two people with a terrific appearance were coming with a noose in their hand, just like the lasso in the wrist. They were keeping it in their hand. And he knew somehow these are the messengers from the god of death, from Lord Yama. So I am going to die. At that time, his attachment to his son was greatest. So at the last minute he wanted to call and embrace his son. So he called, just when they have come, he called loudly, Narayan, Narayan, because he was playing. The moment he took the name of the Lord, it is also Narayan. Some 4 people, very good looking, they were dressed almost absolutely like Lord Krishna, and they were having also like Lord Narayana, Shankar, Chakra, the mace, the discus, and all these things. And they came. Just then, the messengers of the Lord of Death were trying to take out his soul. They came and they prevented them. No, you can't. They said, you look at some nice people, educated people. How is it that you are trying to stop me from doing my duty? We come from the Lord of Dharma, the Lord of Death. So we do nothing wrong. We go according to the rule. You are not doing according to the rule. Come on, tell me, where is the rule laid down? They said, Veda Pradika.